Hey guys, welcome back to Bum Knives. What's the difference between a knife and this channel? A knife has a point. Okay, before we get back to our build that we're in the middle of, I think I'm going to try to make a knife grinding jig.
Good luck with that, loser.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is gather all the things we think we're going to need.
Like what?
So I've got a
Beer,
piece of angle
nachos.
iron here. The silver piece is a piece that you actually hang a over the range microwave with. And a hinge, we all know I'm unhinged. And some hardware we might need. I just have some screws with wing nuts. And a piece of PVC board. I figure it's nice and smooth, it might slide better than wood. Okay, so I'm going to be trying to figure things out as I go. The reason I'm using this hanger for the over-the-range microwave is it has a nice lip that I'll be able to rest the blades on. I will need to cut this bump off. I've seen other people make these with just putting screws on the front of the angle iron. If you've seen any other videos, you probably know what I'm talking about.
I feel like I'm at the damn
But I don't feel like that's the best solution necessarily because the blade could fall down between the screws on the front. And I'm just using this because it's something I had laying around, and that's kind of the theme of the channel, using recycled or old materials and stuff like that.
Yeah, you just mean you're cheap,
so we're going to bum it up with this.
Which is it?
You can easily make this out of wood also, or if you have fancy equipment, you could mill it out of the front of the angle iron. That would work just as well. This doesn't necessarily need to be too precise, so we're just going to use the angle iron that we have to measure the other pieces for the length that we need.
That Sharpie's probably sharper than your knives.
Back to the bandsaw to cut everything out. And I've said before, I love this bandsaw. Could easily use my miter box saw or a table saw. You guys can use whatever you have, a hacksaw, a handsaw, anything will work just as well. But for me, this is quick and easy, and it's probably a lot safer than some of the other tools as well. If it doesn't need to be too precise, it seems to work better if you angle something in on the bandsaw if it has channels like this.
Duh, does he even know what he's doing?
Just going straight in and cutting at the long side.
I thought he promised us beer and nachos.
Okay, here I'm just showing you that I'm marking a spot where we're going to cut the other channel off on the metal piece. We don't need that side. And that channel was a little bit bigger than what I wanted actually, so we're going to cut that off. Okay, so our metal piece has some holes in it, and the angle iron already has some holes in it. So I thought I was going to get really lucky. This was going to work out perfect. I would be able to attach it this way and be done. But it didn't quite work out that way. I'll show you guys what I want is a little lip or channel at the bottom of the angle iron, the front of the angle iron, so that way you can rest your blades on. Everything looks great here until I put the bigger blade. As you can see here, the screw head is pushing the end of the blade out. This is going to cause a problem with the grinding of the blades and consistency. So we're going to go to our old friend JB Weld to glue it together. And then when it's dry, it doesn't dry yet. I mean cured. Then we can remove the screws and have nothing to push our blade out. Okay, so the JB Weld has cured. And as you see here, I've just mounted it to a piece of regular wood. Decided not to go with the PVC board because it wasn't sturdy enough for this application. But that happens sometimes. You improvise and go with what you got. And for simplicity, for the angle adjustment, I'm just using a wedge piece of wood, as you see here. I figure if I get it dialed in just right, I won't really need adjustability because I'll be grinding every knife at the same angle. And you guys see that nifty little arrow there pointing to what we're talking about. If you guys like that, I'm going to do a tutorial after this explaining how to do that in your own videos if you like. And join me for the continuation of the build that we started, where you'll actually see me testing and using this angle grinding jig to see how it works. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Until next time.
Yeah.